Hey everyone, welcome to the Burnt Brass Homestead channel. There was a train derailment in Ohio on February 3rd, which caused a major fire near the track. 20 of the 50 cars that derailed were transporting hazardous materials, including vinyl chloride, ethylene glycomonobutyl, ethylhexyl acrylate, and isobutylene. There may have been more, but that is what was reported. Fearing an explosion, officials thought it would be best to conduct a controlled burn of the hazardous material on February 6. As a precaution, however, some of the toxic chemicals were released into the atmosphere despite their efforts. Virginia American Water Utility Company began enhancing its water treatment process as a precaution following the derailment of the train hauling chemicals that later sent up the toxins in East Palestine, Ohio. The water utility is also going to install a secondary intake on the Guyandotte River in case there is a need to switch to an alternative water source. Good for them. Environmental regulators have been monitoring the air and water in surrounding communities and have said so far the air quality remains safe and drinking water supplies have not been affected. Residents were allowed to return home Wednesday after a mandatory evacuation had been ordered nearly a week prior. That included residents in parts of PA near the Ohio border where the derailment took place. However, some residents voiced safety concerns of returning home too soon. They believe that the air and soil may still be contaminated. Some people have complained of headaches, prolonged coughing, and feeling sick since the derailment. Other residents are seeing dead animals, and one saw dead fish in the river behind her home. And another person stated that they wanted to sell their house and move out of the area completely. I don't blame them for being concerned since it was discovered that the contaminated soil was covered up and were filled during the reconstruction of the rail line, including portions of the burn pit. The contaminated soil should have been removed from the site and properly disposed of, not covered with clean soil. Erin Brockovich took to social media to express her concern of the incident. She is credited with spearheading a successful lawsuit against a major utility company in California on behalf of hundreds of people who had unknowingly been exposed to toxic waste, believed to be the cause of many residents in Hinckley, California cancer diagnosis. Erin describes herself as an advocate for awareness, the truth, and a person's right to know. She believes that in the absence of the truth, all of us stand helpless to defend ourselves, our families, and our health, which she says is the greatest gift. And in a recent interview, she stated community members should document what is happening to their own health and take video of any wildlife or fish that are dying. A federal lawsuit filed Thursday by 2 Pennsylvania residents called for Norfolk Southern to pay for medical screenings and related care for anyone living within a 30-mile radius of the derailment to determine who was affected by the toxic substance released afterwards. Today, the EPA is already assisting health screenings offered by Norfolk Southern, which is the owner of the derailed train. It is important to note that this happened on February 3rd, but there is still fallout as of today, February 14th. Incidents such as these are what cause high reports of cancers and other health issues decades later, in which case large companies will deny wrongdoing or any type of association to the issue at hand. It has happened many times. Those who are lucky enough to afford to move out will do so, while the poor people are stuck there generation after generation getting sick. Now, I'm not saying that this will be the case with this incident, but this is how it all starts. Click on the link in the description for a listing of 1,300 of the most polluted areas in the United States. Post in the comment section if you live near any of them. In regards to the chemicals, vinyl chloride is an odorless gas that is used to make polyvinyl chloride, which is PVC, plastic, and is highly flammable and decomposes to make toxic fumes. According to the National Library of Medicine, it is also a carcinogen and can cause other health issues. Butyl acrylic, a clear liquid that is used for making paints, sealants, and adhesive. It is flammable and can cause skin, eye, and respiratory irritations. Ethyl acrylic, a colorless liquid used to make paints and plastics. It can cause skin and respiratory irritation, and under moderate heat can produce hazardous vapors. Ethylene glycol monobutyl, a colorless liquid used as a solvent for paints and inks, as well as some dry cleaning solutions. It is classed as acutely toxic, able to cause serious or permanent injury, and highly flammable. Vapors can irritate the eyes and nose, and injection can cause headaches and vomiting. For those of you who live near freight rails that carry hazardous chemicals, it might be a good idea to have a to-go bag containing a 2-week supply of clothes and other necessities you can grab and escape to a friend or family member's house in the event of a chemical derailment. Hopefully 2 weeks will be enough to complete cleanup efforts. Also, if you are into gardening, consider if it's worth constructing a greenhouse to protect your crops from air pollution. Of course, you would also have to devise a plan to water your garden with clean water. There is a history of incidents such as these that cause air, water, and soil pollution in small towns. Some of these areas are practically ghost towns to this day because of it. There are some good documentaries and movies depicting these incidents. Here are a few to check out if you're interested.
We basically nuked a town with chemicals so we could get a railroad open. There's a lot of what ifs, and we're going to be looking at this thing 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line and wondering, gee, cancer clusters could pop up.
Well, I hope that you have found this video to be informative. Again, click on the link in the description to see if you live near any of the 1,300 most polluted areas in the United States. And consider subscribing to help this small channel to grow. Thanks for watching.